This is Zander, and this presentation is on Norway. Historically, so Norway is a Scandinavian country, and it is partly in the Arctic Circle. Around 2/3 of Norway is mountainous, and it contains some 50,000 islands and many fjords. The Vikings saw a period of expansion for Norway and other Nordic areas. It brought in Christianity, and it greatly impacted the European society. Norwegian, like the Norwegian language, has written over 1,000 European words due to the Vikings. The Kalmar Union was the union between Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. It weakened Norway and it strengthened Denmark due to their population differences, and Sweden backed out of this very quickly, so it left Denmark and Norway in a union. This union backed France in the Napoleonic Wars, which eventually lost, and Norway then declared independence. Yay! Except 1 week later, Sweden took control. So, bummer. The Great Migration. The Great Migration saw over 1 million migrants move to the Americas and other places, and this migration affected Norway greatly economically, and it really was a time of depression for Norway. People moved to North Dakota, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. The Nazi occupation was in World War II, and it took place nearly at the beginning of the war till the end, and by the end of the war there was a resistance in North Dakota, almost 40,000 strong. This war devastated the people and the land due to the Nazis' scorched earth tactics after they began to lose the war. And lastly, the Age of Oil. So this is from about 1950 to present day, and this is a very much golden age for Norway. It saw an increase in jobs, and it boosted the economy. It is now one of the largest oil fields in the world, and Norway is the 8th richest country in the world by population today. Contemporary life. Holidays. Independence Day is a very unique Norwegian holiday. It sees parades, music, dancing, costumes, and children. The parades are all children, and school's canceled that day. People crowd into the streets to watch the children on parade floats, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. Lefse. Lefse is a Norwegian dessert, and it is potatoes, flour, butter, milk, and cream, and my grandma usually makes this when we go to her house, and it's pretty good. Lutefisk is a very controversial Norwegian dish, and it is dried cod soaked in lye solution for several days, rinsed with cold water, boiled, and served. This dish is super controversial, and I have this quote from a Norwegian American, and he says, "It is said that about half the Norwegians who immigrated to America came in order to escape the hated lutefisk, and the others half came to spread the gospel of lutefisk's wonderfulness." So you can see how some people hate it and some people love it. So government. The Norwegian's government is a parliamentary constitutional monarchy. It has a head of state, a prime minister, a parliament, and a council of the state. The present-day head of state is King Harald V, and this monarch has all symbolic power. He really isn't in charge of Norway. The prime minister is, and this present-day prime minister is Erna Solberg. Daily life. Many Norwegians live in urban settings, and it's up to 82% by most accounts. Norway provides free healthcare and educational due to the National Insurance Act, which also provides aid to orphans, mothers, homeless and unemployed peoples, and also people with disabilities. It also pays for retirement pensions, job retraining, and other things like that. But due to all this this huge insurance act, their tax is around 22% of all Norwegian income, and this can be greater in some areas and less in other areas. So the jobs are largely oil-based, and some can be fishing and shipping due to the huge industries of oil, fishing, and shipping. And yeah, societal. Norway has a huge arts, literature, and music base. This is Edvard Munch, and he is pretty famous. He painted The Scream, and it's pretty famous. These are all Nobel Prize winning authors. Sorry. That guy's name I can't pronounce. Knut Hamsun and Sigrid Undset. These are some of the books that they published. And finally, music. This guy is Edvard Grieg, and he is a famous composer from Norway, and he composed the Piano Concerto and the Peer Gynt. I thought this was pretty interesting. It's death diving, and it's a very extreme sport seen in Norway, where people jump off a 32-foot or 10-meter diving board and try and act like they're belly flopping. As you can see, this guy, yeah, that looks like it hurt. It's a national identity for Norway, and it provides kind of a test in the manhood. Yeah. So this is my works cited, and thanks for watching.